Hey guys, it's TTL back with another rush kit for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Z270i. The I stands for ITX. So it's the Asus Strix Z270i gaming. Yeah, so they've nailed gaming onto the end because people don't buy motherboards unless it's got gaming on. That must be the only reason why everyone uses it. Surely. Right, yeah, I'm bored of it as well. Anyway, so ITX, which means it's teeny tiny. And it's so teeny tiny, it's missing. Where's it gone? Ah, no, sorry. I've taken it out already. It's here. Ah, just joking. Anyway, right, yeah, I'm so funny, I know. Anyway, so when we have a look on the back quickly, there's just a few kind of special features that we need to drag out from the box. Obviously, we can see all the stuff, so if you're interested, you can pause and you can read it and yeah. But Aura, you can see that's all down one edge. Double-decker heatsink, I will show you this. Supreme FX codec, so it's just got some really nice onboard audio, and then a USB 3.1 front panel port. But in the actual box itself, I took the motherboard out so that we can do this bit quicker, just so that we can run through these bits. You get your manual, which is kind of normal, you would expect it, a driver CD. I'm hoping that, you know, it's going to be like stroking my lamp and wishing on a genie. Why have we not got USBs yet? We don't want driver CDs anymore. Right, and then you get your back panel, nice soft one, not a cheap one, not got any of those horrible metal pangs or anything anywhere. Well, other than there for the USB type. There you go. Yeah, see down the bottom, so it's for the USB type A. You get 4 SATA cables. I'm just trying to look. Yes, you get 2 straight ones and then 2 right-angled ones. This is the wireless adapter stroke antenna thing. Use your words, Tom. This is magnetic, sticks on your case. You can either have it that way and sticking up around the back of your case, or you can turn it round and you can put it on the top of your case like that. So yes, that is all kind of normal stuff. This is an Rgb extension cable. You get a coaster for your desk to put your mug or your cup on when you're watching one of my videos. These are cable, I wouldn't say notifiers, but that's not the right word. Basically, you can stick these on your cable so you know which one's which, and you can color code them and stuff. It just makes life easier. Now this is a Cable Mod 20% off voucher. Now I'm going to turn it round, and don't forget, this is going to be a bit of a race. The voucher is active. So the first person to use it to go and buy some Cable Mod cables, bosh. It's only available for, you know, one use. So get ready. There you go. You're welcome to that. If you do use it, please post underneath, and I'd love to see them on the OC3D forums as well. See what you use them for. So there you go, free 20% off voucher. Then we have, this is an extension cable for the front panel cables, I do believe. Let's have a look. There we go, reset switch, power LED, power switch, hard drive LED, and then that just goes into the header on the actual motherboard, and it just takes them away from the motherboard, so you can either tuck them underneath or get them away somewhere easier for you to be able to mount them. It doesn't make them particularly tidy, but anyway. Then you get some of these. These are for mounting your M.2s. And then you also get some M.2 screws and stuff as well. There's some more screws in there. Anyway, so all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so then onto the board. Now, this is ITX, which basically means if you've got like an ATX case, look at the top 4 screws on your motherboard. So you've got 1, 2, 3 across the top normally. This is literally just the 4 that you would normally have, so it's tiny. It's 170mm by 170mm. ITX board does fit in pretty much most cases, although to be honest with you, if you're going to buy an ITX board, put it in an ITX case, because if you put it in a bigger case, you're kind of missing the point about it being so compact. You can see around the back though that it still does cram in an awful lot into the I/O, and the board is pretty much the same size as what the normal I/O would be on the back of your ATX. So you get a USB-C, and you get the A for USB 3.1, 4 USB 2s, DisplayPort HDMI, 2 USB 3s. This is Gigabit Intel Ethernet. Then you've got a Bluetooth and a wireless kind of dongle as well, if you'd like to go down that route. There are screws underneath actually, so I'm not sure, but I think this might be one of the ones. If you don't want it, you could take it out. But the other way, if you don't want to use this, you can disable these in the BIOS, and then it never gets seen by your operating system. And then your audio out here. You can see we've got the battery hidden up here. It's there, and that's again to save room. You can see the little header there that it plugs into. So if you ever want to remove the battery, that's the cable that you actually need to pull out. You can see down here the Supreme FX shieldy covery type thing. Now, when we have a look at this, you can see that there's a hidden fan port here, and there's another one up here, and that's all you've got for fan connections around the board. Now I'm saying that and I'm looking around because I personally think there probably should have been at least one more, but that's it. You do only get two. One of the things I can say though is that even though the fan ports are lacking, the phases around the CPU blatantly aren't. I don't know what this random part here is for, because it looks like there should be another big choke up here, but there's obviously not. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 8 phases, 9 phases around the board in total. Loads of the Japanese black caps as well. You can see that you've got 2 MOSFET coolers as well. This one actually wraps around the back, which is kind of cool. If you have a look, you can see it pulls over. And this one, not so much. Capacitors all around the back as well. You do get a 8-pin power for your CPU, normal 24-pin here. This is your RGB header up here. You've got 4 SATAs in total, but they're obviously all vertical. You do get a USB 3 out. Then you've got a shielded steel PCI Express slot. I'm just looking to see if there's an LED underneath there. I'm not sure there is, although that could be it there, because obviously I've not started it up yet. But there are, if you have a look, part of the aura is that it's got RGBs all the way down the side here. So this side of the board will light up. One of the other things is it's got what's called a double-decker heatsink. So what you can do is quickly, and I'm not being funny, right? People wonder why I always say about using magnetic screwdrivers. That is why. Love it. Anyway, so double-decker heatsink. You can take this off. The chipset is underneath. So the Z270 chipset is underneath here. But if you have a look, we've got an M.2 port, and then it's 60 and then 80mm mounts, so that you can screw it in. The only thing I would say that I did notice, that is the thermal pad, because it's got quite a big thermal pad, it doesn't go to near the end of the heatsink, and I was kind of thinking that I would have liked it to have gone a little bit further up. So before I do the main review, I'm going to ask Asus why they've done it this way, because some of the M.2s that I've got chips right up near the end, so I'm unsure why, you know, just down the end. Anyway, so worst case scenario, if you're really worried about it, you could obviously measure the width of this and get yourself a longer pad. Something to do this on eBay would probably cost you more in postage than it would to actually buy the item itself. So anyway, we've got that. It's not it doesn't light up or anything like that. It's just a nice, like they said, really, it's a double-decker heatsink, so it does both. And let's just do these quick. And this is why, like I said, I love a magnetic screwdriver. Actually keep magnets and magnetize the screwdrivers. So there it is, back on. Another good thing with it being a double-decker heatsink is it's going to mean that it's going to help this, but then it might help shield the M.2 as well from heat from the backplate, because your backplate can obviously get quite warm. Now with Z270, the common thing is 2 M.2s, and we've obviously got one here. The other one is around the back though, and you can see that you've got the 2 mounts there as well. So that does mean if you did want to access this, you would either need to be able to access it from your cutout on the back of from the back of your case, or you're going to have to remove the motherboard. It's all going to be a bit case dependent. But if you wanted a project, what I would say is the screws are all in the corners, so you could easily open up the back of your case, if you've got access to the back of the motherboard tray, you could easily open it up enough so that, you know, with a Dremel, just cut it out so you can get access to this. I would probably measure this and then go in, I don't know, 5, maybe 7 mil, and then just cut that hole out. And that'll give you loads of access for this, so you can put your back plates on, and then you'd have access so you could be able to get to this as well. So there we go. Quick look, my kind of quick look at the Strix ITX motherboard. People are going to be saying about ROG boards. I think this is going to be the only ITX one that are as high as the ITX ones are going to get, looking at all the power phases. I'm not sure whether Asus will do another one, but I would have you know, guessing, I'm going to say it'll be a lower end one rather than something to replace the Impact. I think this is the Impact board now, but you know, I would like to be proven wrong. The other thing I will say is we will be reviewing this as soon as possible on the main OC3D TV channel, but it arrived today and I thought I would share it with you so you can get a feel for it, have a look at it, look at the colours, see what you think, and then if you are interested, keep your eye out on the other channel. But for now, at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with his, well muddled up today, out.